Welcome back, everybody, to the Magnetico podcast. I am your host, Jason. I'm here with Seneca. What's good?
What's happening?
We got a lot to discuss. We got the Super Bowl, back from the cruise, NBA All-Star weekend. We got to get into that. And, man, on the cruise, watching the Super Bowl, I'm going to be honest. I watched the first quarter, and then I just kept an eye on it. Didn't see
it was a trash Super Bowl.
It wasn't. But it was cool to be on the cruise there was a lot of Philly fans, a lot of KC fans on the ship, all watching it in this big arena type where they do the shows and stuff. And it was like a 360 arena. So it was just cool. Everybody got along. There was some trash talking beforehand. You know, it was fun to be in that atmosphere. But yeah, it wasn't much of a game.
Yeah. It's funny because I was on for AFC, NFC championship weekend on the cruise.
Okay.
So we had Bills fans and KC fans and stuff. So
yeah, it was a good time, but the game wasn't that exciting. Did Kelsey retire?
I think he said he was going to take some time and
make a decision,
figure it out. I gotta, the reason why the game went the way it went, right?
Nah, don't.
So the NFL was protecting the integrity of the shield, right? There'd been all this. This is so I had this thought, and then I realized there was other people who had the same thought. I started seeing it online and stuff. And I mean, I had this thought and had it with somebody else before I ever even saw it anywhere else. But Kansas City been accused of having the refs in their back pocket all season. Automatic Super Bowl win. The script, we think. The people who think like me think the script got changed by the NFL to have Philly win so that they could squash all this nonsense about the referees.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And if you watch, like especially the first quarter, first half, they was on KC.
Yeah,
I mean Philly got a messed up call, but yeah, they was on KC's tail.
I can see that
the refs was.
I can see that.
They was like, yeah, we putting this to sleep right now.
It makes sense.
Because now you can't. Are you gonna say that? You know what I mean? Because now there's no way to say that they didn't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's true. And then I got to see in real time, like when they showed, and it's stupid. When they showed Taylor Swift and everybody booed, and they showed Trump and people were clapping. When they showed Taylor Swift on the ship, people booed too. Guess who all was booing? The Eagles fans. Like them people was booing in the stadium. That was Eagle fans. People are tired of Taylor Swift.
I mean, Trump got booed too.
People don't like Taylor Swift.
People just like being haters nowadays.
Yeah, it was. I don't know, man. The NFL,
like people, the NFL people are like, we're tired of hearing about Taylor Swift. Like, we're tired. Like, and then people are. I heard cheers and boos for Trump, but it's like I've been wanting to write a think piece about it. I'm like, when did we just, as a society, become? And I'm not saying people don't have reasons to dislike certain people, right? But I always find myself like I just literally had this conversation. I was defending Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and Kim Kardashian, right? And what's the common thread with them? They're all hugely successful. When people become successful, it's like automatic haterism comes out. And I'm like, we don't even know these people. Yeah. We do not know if Taylor Swift is a good person, if Beyonce. We see all the stories on YouTube, the crazy, all the conspiracy things of that they eat people in the basement or whatever. You know what I mean? But we do not know these people. Yeah. And I'm like, and just outside of that, people, people's hated on you. I've had haters. Like now when people go on and you look at any thread on any subject, and at some point there's people in there talking trash, right? I mean, it could be kittens and babies, and there's somebody in there talking trash, right? And I'm like, that's what social media has turned everybody into. Like, it's just like, what makes you, and I ain't gonna let me not act like I've been hater free my entire life. There's some people I've hated on, right? I've hated on LeBron James before, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you got reason.
Like, but see, everybody feels like they got a reason though, right? You know what I'm saying?
That part.
So I'm like, what makes people on a regular basis be like, I'm about to just go on this Magnetico podcast thread and just talk trash, like just say hateful things. Yeah. Like why are we built that way now?
It is definitely social media. Is definitely it gives people feel like they got a little voice, but they're doing it behind the fingers,
behind the keyboard and the screen or they phone screen.
But you know, I've had people make fun of me for doing these podcasts. I know you probably had haters with your music. It was like I called Donna out on her show about Beyonce. She's not a Beyonce fan. You could not be a fan of somebody, but like we could have our reason why she didn't, or why you feel she didn't deserve Country Album of the Year. But like I told Donna, you didn't listen to any of the albums,
right? Ever. Most of them people didn't listen to the album at all.
No, like I even said I love Chris Stapleton. You know that. I didn't listen to his whole album to say that he deserved it over B. Right. You know, we just form an opinion
too.
Yeah, we
but
just
when I see posted like, "Oh, she won a Grammy over," I ain't listening to either one of them. Mm-hmm. And most even country fans didn't listen to most of.
Yeah.
People just like to hate, and the famous people are targets. Taylor Swift was an easy target. Kim K, easy target. Beyonce, easy target. Elon is an easy target, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like people, like, because I say that because I know Donna's a fan of his, right? And the same principle that is applied to Bill, she would just use that as defense to him, right? You know what I mean?
Because like, no matter how you don't want to be, we all are tribal.
Oh,
you pick a side and you ride or die, and that's it. But I'm about to hate on LeBron. I guess we just jumping over the Super Bowl because it was boring as hell.
There wasn't much to it. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, first of all-Star, I didn't watch it. I just seen highlights and stuff.
Look, this is a perfect example. This is a perfect example of what we talking about.
I'm about to go. Okay, so he decided he wasn't going to play and shows up to the photo shoot in street clothes?
He was like already there. He decided like 2 hours before.
Then you don't do the photo shoot. Like if you can't put the uniform on, put the uniform on, take the pictures, and then change back in the street. Like standing up there.
I don't disagree with that.
Come on. You just a diva. Like that's why you so easy. Now he may have had a good reason. I don't know. Just like I didn't listen to B's album, right? He could have been going to another obligation 15 minutes later. I don't know. I'm just telling you how it looks.
Fruit. He provides the low hanging fruit.
He makes it real easy.
That's the difference, right? That's the difference. Like Taylor Swift, from all the stories, like if you actually pay attention to stories about her and things you watch with Beyonce, they always are super sweet to everybody. You always hear about them taking care of the people closest to her, right? Like you don't hear, I hate bringing up politics, but like when people ask me, like when I heard about like Hillary, like I heard stories about Hillary talking trash to like the servicemen protected her, right? But you don't hear stories like that about Taylor Swift and Beyonce, right? Like you just, they're in the Illuminati. They're sacrificing people.
Yeah.
But LeBron provides low hanging fruit
for sure.
So a lot of people are like, you could have gave up that spot and they could have put an alternate in and gave somebody an opportunity to shine.
Correct.
Even though the format, I'll let you finish because I agree with Draymond. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't hear what Draymond said. You could fill me in, and I saw that there was some kind of there was multiple teams or something. But what I want to start off with is what the hell was the video that I seen of what do they even call it now? Like the skills competition? Like the guy was just running down the court, throwing the ball around.
So Wemby and Chris Paul. So Wemby. And they got disqualified for this, by the way. And Wemby had asked a bunch of people, right? Like, because it's also time. So he was like, if I miss the shots or whatever, I move on to the next station or whatever, right? And he's like, so I don't, he's like, he was like, so I don't have to like make a good error. I just got to get them up, right? And they were like, yeah, like what they had told him. And story is he went around and asked like 4 or 5 different people, and they told him, yeah. So in his mind, it was a strategy. I just get them up, and my time is so much faster than everybody. I'm going to win, which obviously defeats the spirit of what it is, and they got disqualified. And that just further made the weekend trash because. So from what I heard, they did a thing where they picked like the All-Star teams were like a mixed team. People, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong because I only kind of overheard it because I haven't watched. First of all, I'm not even watching basketball. You'll take what we say with a grain of salt because I don't even watch basketball anymore because of how trash the game has become, in my opinion. But I believe it was Draymond when Draymond was discussing it, that the team is a mesh of things now. It's like 2 up and comers, like rising stars, and then like an actual all-star. And I don't know, but like there was a mess.
That's
but
so
Draymond
stupid.
Draymond was mad because he's like, it was an honor to play on Sunday night. Like you weren't playing the skills challenges and 3-point and all of that. That's cool. But you didn't make. He's like, you got people who didn't make the All-Star team that are playing in the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
Trash.
Yeah, it's so trash.
Trash. But the caveat I will say, and Charles Barkley said this, and I agree with that. The reason we're here, though. Now, I don't think Draymond is this because, Draymond's intensity is what pisses people off more than anything. But the reason we're here is because the NBA players quit taking the game serious years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was one of Kobe's last years where they actually, like, one of his last couple years where they played, and it was like, they're trying to win the game. Like, they was playing defense.
So I remember, it's probably been 10, 15 years now, it seemed like. But I remember me and you sharing back and forth like we did a lot on social media when I was on there of different videos we saw. And you seen this white kid playing against the competition he was playing in high school that was doing things on the court. We was like, what the hell is this? White kid dunking underneath, around, up and under. Like, what the hell? This white kid can ball. Like, we was seeing it, and then it come out to be this kid that's won the dunk competition the last 3 years. McClung, right. Whatever.
Who's not even in
the NBA. He's in the G League.
He's in the G League
for the Magic. Shout out Magic. But my point is twofold. One, the NBA becomes so sorry that you letting a 6'2" G League white kid. But then now I look at the dunks he did, and I'm like, bro, I don't know that anybody could beat him.
Right. He's creative.
Jump over the dude's head, Seneca, and double touch it off the rim. And I'm like, what the hell?
Here's the thing, and I very rarely agree with, I think Stephen A. be just over the top a lot of times. Stephen A. had a rant where he said, I unequivocally blame LeBron James for the dunk contest getting to where it was because he's refused to do it. And he made it okay for the stars to sit out and not do it. Whereas previously, everybody did it. Yeah. Vince Carter, Kobe, Jordan, Dominique, like anybody that was dunking in games, we were going to see you in the dunk contest.
Fact.
It was you couldn't get away from it.
That was you looked forward to All-Star Weekend for the dunk contest, the 3-point contest, and the game.
I hate to tell people this, and I stand by this 100%. And people I've gotten hate for this because I'm like, yes, Zach LaVine can dunk, but if you had LeBron, KD, like you had 4 superstars and Zach LaVine's a star. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you had 4 suits, you'd be more excited, even if they didn't do dunks as good as Patrick McClung.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You would get more up for it. If Steph Curry, if they had James Harden, Steph Curry, Dame Lillard, Klay Thompson in the 3-point contest.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching that night.
Right. Facts.
Everybody.
Yeah. And then, I mean, everybody knows I'm a MJ stan. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I think he got robbed. Dominique got robbed. Like when Jordan jumped from the free throw line and his feet were over the line a little bit, that shit wasn't that impressive to me. It's not that impressive. Oh, you a long jumper? Go to the Olympics. Like that wasn't that impressive of a dunk. They was in Chicago. They gave him the 50.
I was with you up until you talk about that ain't an impressive dunk.
I'm just saying, watching this white kid, 6'2", jumping over 7-footers, double tapping the rim, the best dunker that I've ever seen in the NBA to me was probably Vince Carter.
Oh yeah, hands down.
But this kid does some things that I don't like. His dunks are more impressive to me than Jordan's dunks in the comp.
Most people don't understand how impressive the tapping the rim and then dunking it is.
After
so many people were like, I saw a post where they're like, "You're telling me this one over," and they showed the other guys dunk. I'm like, you don't understand how hard that is to do that,
man.
Like, I agree with you. I think Dominique put on a more exciting performance.
Yeah, It was in Chicago though, bro.
But to me, you're treating the free throw thing like the double dunk.
No, you know why? You know why? Because he went over the line. If you watch the video,
I mean, his foot was on the line and half of it over it. Like that is still at that time there was nobody athletic enough really could do that.
No, I know. I mean, it was impressive, but not as impressive as jumping over a car.
If his foot had been back 2 inches, you're telling me
maybe because it happened so fast, and then when they slow it down and they show the highlight and him aired out like the logo, I mean, it was impressive. But I seen other competitions where people jumping over cars and stuff, and I'm like, that's more impressive to me than what.
Now though, like the athletes, like the GMOs and the food and all the other stuff. We got the athletes are more the training and all that. They are. I have never disagreed when they like the athletes are better. They are more athletic nowadays. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It was more impressive to see Spud Webb dunk because of his height. And I think that's what makes this kid special is because he's 6'2" white kid.
Right.
That's got hops. And you're like, this ain't supposed to be happening. You know, like this is crazy. But then let's get back into it. I don't know that LeBron got the creativity. Like you mentioned KD. I don't want to see KD in the dunk contest. He's 7 foot dunking. Come on. That'd be like Wemby dunk in the dunk contest. Like,
but you gotta remember though, like back in the day when they was doing it, they put thought into it. Like they was practicing and researching dunks. Like LeBron, just like anything else he do, he got a team around him that help him.
Yeah,
they'd have been designing dunks.
Maybe
LeBron.
He just ain't a good dunker though. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he ain't that flashy with it.
Right. So as much as I have to always be Team Mike and not give Bron his props, I've seen him do some things, some dunks in the game that I'm like, he should have been in the dunk contest because this dude.
You talking about LeBron?
Yeah.
Oh, I never seen him dunk good.
You ain't never.
No, all I ever see him do. No.
Where Lance at? We need to call Lance because now you getting out of hand.
No. Be serious with me. When LeBron dunks, he jumps up and brings the ball way down to his right side and just slams it real hard.
But
that's cool. That
means that he's got enough airtime that he could do something creative in the dunk contest.
But his body can't. Like you see Mike do dunks on a breakaway, bring it down between his legs and dunk it backwards on a fast break. You ain't there. Show me that tape. Show me that LeBron. I'm gonna look up LeBron's best dunks because I have to see for myself. I ain't never seen no creativity in the air. He just hoping he can get up that high.
I'm saying that I have seen him jump out of the building before. I have seen him jump like over people. Like I've seen impressive enough dunks that I'm like, he could have been in the dunk contest.
Yeah. But he's 6'9", right? 6'9", 6'10". Like,
yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. The smaller guys, it makes it like the Vince
I
Carter.
would love to see Wemby in the dunk contest.
Man, you just stand there. you don't even have to jump.
Look, you know who could jump from behind the free throw line?
Wemby.
Boy, that would
do it from the 3-point line.
I'm telling you. He probably could jump from like the halfway point between the free throw line and the top of the key.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to. You telling me you would like to see? Like he would probably make it look easy too.
No, I would like to. I mean, the point of it is we would like to see the stars in the NBA be the stars in the NBA and show up for All-Star Weekend. And whatever they're doing with the teams, like you were discussing, the format or whatever,
not working.
It's not working. Put the best 12 guys on it, or put 10 to 12
and
guys on
then we were supposed
team.
to have like a Caitlyn versus Steph Curry 3-point thing, and it didn't work out and stuff. But I'm like, you were heading in the right direction. That stuff gets people to watch. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I can remember as a Bulls fan watching Steve Kerr in the 3-point competition. Like, you was hype. Like back
BJ Armstrong, man.
We were hype about the whole weekend's activities. Now, when they started the skills challenge, I wasn't really into that. That was like the warm-up act. You know, that you put it on and you listen to the commentators talk about the upcoming 3-point contest. And then you was looking forward to the main event. You know,
right.
who was in the dunk contest. And I hate that for the younger generation of the NBA fans, because like Cole's an NBA fan. Like, he follows it a lot more than we do. But he's missing out. Because that game, yes, it wasn't a lot of defense played, but that was the first time you could see greatness all playing together before the Dream Team. Like, think about it. This was before the Olympic Dream Teams.
Oh, yeah.
You got to see all the best
players.
They
used to play each other, though. They used to play. Like, it was a big deal. Like, the East and West wanted to win their game.
And in the fourth quarter, too, it down to a game.
It turned out, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the first 3 quarters was fun. Alley-oops.
Right.
And you got to see,
Mike do his thing. Right.
But now, I don't even know if they're collecting a check.
I'll tell you, the best was them wearing their team's home or away jerseys.
Yeah.
That was the best.
Yep.
So you watch somebody, on the Bulls throw an alley-oop to somebody on the Raptors. Like, that was the best.
And then you start dreaming about, what if they could play together next offseason, before this whole build a team concept.
Right. And that's what the Pro Bowl was like. You know what I'm saying? You got Steve Young throwing a touchdown to Randy Moss throwing it, you know what I mean?
I ain't never in my life watched 1 minute of the Pro Bowl since they started the flag stuff. Watching that.
Oh, yeah, there's no point in watching that.
The Mannings, it's like, come on. Like,
nah, it's trash.
Football has been the trashiest of all of it because
it went down faster.
Yeah.
Like, hockey skills check. I'm telling you, hockey and what I sent you earlier today, golf doing a skills challenge, that would be fire.
That would be fire. Because
there's actually, I don't want to say there's more. It's a different kind of directed skill, right? Like, it's a precise skill with hockey and golf.
Right.
That's what makes a skill challenge. Like in football, like watching the quarterback hit the targets is probably the most, like, the football skills challenge is exciting. Basketball one is not. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just start the game. You know what I mean? But a golf one, you know what I'm saying? Where that'd be crazy.
They could even do what we've been talking about. Take a 30 handicapper like myself, start them on the green, and let the guy start at the tee box and see if you can beat him. Stuff like that. Just win $1 million.
Greatness or something like that.
The half court shot for $1 million.
Right.
You get a chance to win $1 million if you could beat Phil Mickelson on this hole. You start here, he starts at the tee box. It's a par 4. Beat him. That would be dope to see because most of the time the pro's gonna win. Everybody, we even say we could do it.
Right.
Most of the time the pro's gonna beat him.
Right. like 8 or 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
And that's that's like if we went back and started practicing and got to where as good as we were at whatever point in our young life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I'm not going out there right now and having a chance. You know what I mean?
I still feel like it's just putting. Like but them greens are harder than people think.
I think I would have like a puncher's chance. Like out of 10 holes, I might would get on one if I went out there today.
Yeah.
Like I could get one. You know what I mean? But like now, if we go back to like 15 years ago or whatever, when like me and my buddy was going and hitting balls at lunch and then putting and stuff, like I probably get 3 or 4 holes out of 10.
Yeah.
Like I just would. If you started me on the green, you know what I'm saying? I'm probably getting 3 or 4 holes for sure.
But I say that, but then I think about like there's been times, so many times in golf on a regular course, nothing like the greens of a
right, not
tour.
a PGA,
and
right?
I 3 or 4 putted,
triple bogey, triple bogey.
I landed on the green in 3, and I got a 7.
Right. Not only that, made the green in regulation in triple bogey.
Because you hit it 6 inches to the right, and that it'll be 40 feet away. It'll take that little slope.
Right. Man. Oh yeah.
Well, that brings like all stars. I'd be okay with them just doing away with it. Like announce the teams who are the best.
Make it an honor.
Make it an honor, and let's give the guys a couple of days off, and let's keep it moving to the second half.
Do some and it's no longer exactly middle of the season anymore. Sometimes like the season be almost over, like when they do it, right? But like do a mid-season's honor, right? Like announce the All-Stars, and then be like, I don't know, 6th man of the year through mid-season or something like that, or the most improved through the middle of the season. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like do something like that. Give them some time off. Give them the week off the rest or something like that. Do something fan initiative. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, because nobody's watching the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, this is the one thing that I think baseball got over all the sports is the home run derby is exciting. The best.
I think the home run derby is probably the best.
Yeah.
Now, it was always 1A, 1B with the slam dunk contest.
Yeah. Now the home run derby.
And now
it's
the best all-star event of all the sports.
And then with the actual game of the all-star game, because it's baseball and there's not, I know the pitchers are trying to get the hitters out. I know the hitters are trying to hit a home run. They're trying to win for their league because they get home field advantage. At least that's how it's been. I think it's still that way. But
in the World Series.
The pitchers they're really not pitching inside, and nobody wants to hit somebody in an all-star game, although it's happened. But I think it's the realest of the actual game. Like if you hit it the shortstop, the guy's going to try to make the play. It's not like you're driving in the lane, I'm going to back off and let you dunk. Like the all-star game in basketball. But baseball, at least they got that right.
I think if they did the same thing in basketball, if they was like winner of the all-star game conference gets home court advantage.
Yeah.
It'd be different.
Yeah, because most all-star players
are on playoff
teams. Yeah, like it makes sense, especially basketball. Like in baseball, you got so many guys. Every team has a representative in baseball, which I don't necessarily agree with.
Right.
But yeah,
and I feel like baseball. I hate to say this, but I feel like baseball home. I mean, depending on the park, there's some extreme differences in parks. But baseball home field advantage is the least effective home field advantage.
I agree.
In sports, to me. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But in basketball, that's wild.
It's not as important, but it is still, like if you got games 6 and 7 at home,
right?
It does make a big difference.
Strategic.
You just got to make sure you don't give up early, And then the road team, like the Mets was a road team this year, you got to get that first one. Like when we played Philly, you had to get that first one, get that first win in Philly. They got it, made the rest of the series a lot easier for them. But speaking of baseball, that season's coming up. You got to come up and see a game, man. We got to plan it.
Yeah, we definitely got to.
I mean,
I definitely gotta go to the Anthony game.
I'll even if you come up, like we'll try to go to both. We'll try to go to Mets and Yankees. 'Cause I would like to go to the Yankee Stadium just for the nostalgia of it.
Oh yeah,
In the
that would
Bronx.
be cool.
But uh, Pete signed back with the Mets. I don't know if you seen that. Got killed, bro.
You told me.
Yeah, he got killed.
You texted me. Compared to what he was originally offered,
Bro.
You called all of that. You literally called that to the T.
Yeah, it was
when
terrible.
you described it.
It was
because you said it's the agent's fault.
It's terrible. I hope these baseball players have seen the writing on the wall the last couple of years and stay away from Scott Boras. Because the Mets owner, bro, he plays so smooth. He played it like on the press conference. They asked him about it. He's like, look, this is getting exhausting. These negotiations are exhausting. We're moving on. And then nobody was really offering him nothing. And then the sports media people, especially up here, they need to pay against who? You don't.
This is what players face. Players think that if they can't get the money from their team, that right, wrong, or indifferent, they think they're going to get more money on the market.
Yeah, it don't work like that, especially baseball. Because
not all the time, you know what I mean? But
he's a 32. I don't know exactly age. I think he's like 32 years old. He had a declining year last year, but he hit 32 home runs.
Right.
But they looking at it. They like, if nobody else is offering you that type of money, why should we give it to you? And that just goes
if your own team, and is it a red flag if your own team's not even gonna pay it?
Right. And then we all work for a living to pay our bills, and really all you want at work is to just be appreciated. And if your job, if the Mets come to you and say, hey, we'll give you an extension, 7 years, $150 million, whatever it was, I forget the exact
and
number.
It's guaranteed.
And it's guaranteed money. They want you to stay there. You're a homegrown guy from their organization, and you turn it down and then go to the open market because your agent's telling you what you're worth? Nah, that ain't how it works. The agent don't dictate the market. The teams dictate the market.
And bro, I tell people all the time, if I had it to do over again, I would have golf would have been my very first. Golf would have been my first love. Like, I didn't get into golf until I was already like almost 30. So golf would have been my first love. Because you could be like, if you make it past Friday, you can place 22nd and make $600,000. You know what I mean? Like, you can be 47th and make 50, 60 grand every weekend. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, I would have did, but after that, baseball for sure. Guaranteed contracts.
The only thing with baseball, that part, the guaranteed contract. The only thing about baseball that's a long grind, 162 games,
is.
Like that.
Yeah,
they got October.
But I don't know. It's not though. Like it is and it's not, right? Like I watched this thing. They did it with football and they did it with baseball, and it was like, and they showed the actual amount of time where you're physically playing, and it's like 20 minutes a game type shit.
Yeah. But that don't change. What I mean? That don't change the fact that you fly to a new city. Like on Thursday you get in, you got a Friday, Saturday, Sunday game, and you fly somewhere else, and then you got a Monday, Tuesday game.
Not buying it though. Not buying it. Still a grind. Nowadays, especially like now, like the Yankees got their old plane. So I get off, I can go sit in the hot tub. I got a massager. I got. It's not. Yeah. It's not the same. No. Like now, 30 years ago, right? That there's more of a toll. But nowadays, these cats got it made. I was watching something like I think it was Charles Barkley that was talking about it ain't the same. Like the way they travel now, like I don't want to hear nothing about West Coast games versus East Coast time, and like none of that. It's not enough. It's not enough to make you fatigued anymore.
Yeah. So the only bad thing is sometimes the schedule in baseball, they'll have them. They do a good job. They try to have Sunday afternoon games so they can get out on the road and hit, to go to the next city. But every once in a while, Sunday night baseball game, or they'll have to play a doubleheader, and stay in the town late. Then they get in like 4 or 5 in the morning at the other place and got a game. But like you said, they got okay. Well, you've been sleeping on the plane. Like what you?
Right.
It ain't that bad.
Jason, if I'm making 3 million, 2 million, I'm a low end player. If I'm making $2 million a year, okay, I can travel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I? These cats that go. I mean, I'm not trying to dismiss it for what it is, but like these cats that they manager call them, I need you to work a double tomorrow at the warehouse. You know what I mean? They tired when they go home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
these cats got it made.
And we were texting earlier in the thread. What I love about baseball is I was reading about the Mets owner. He was like, I could pay whatever. And there's a luxury tax in baseball, and if your salary is over a certain amount, they have to pay a tax. And that
increases the higher amounts over you go.
They call it the Steve Cohen tax. But like Steve Cohen's like, yeah, they call it that, but there's a lot of Steve Cohens out there. He's like,
right.
The Dodgers are spending a crazy amount of money. He's like, I can spend whatever I want to spend. But he's trying to really build the organization from the ground up. And he brought in a small market GM guy from Milwaukee who had a lot of success with the purse strings were tight there, and was able to build through the farm system and the organization and signing players early and holding on to their years. Because the thing about baseball, like, for example, the Mets got this guy Vientos. He's a star. Looks like he's going to be a star. Had like 26 home runs last year as a rookie. The Mets have him under that rookie deal. So they got him for X amount of years. Now, in the next year or two, they're going to try to lock him up long term.
Right.
If you let him get the free agency, like Pete just did, so there's a lot of strategy in baseball. And what the Mets owner was saying is, I can go get who I want. Like next year they want to get Vladdy Guerrero, his son plays first base. Probably move Pete to DH if he comes back on the second year, opt-in year. But they really trying to build the younger guys in the farm system to where, because look at the Rays, bro. The Rays have been competitive. But all they do is keep their young talent, and when their young talent gets to the time where in the next year or two they're going to negotiate for that, they trade them for 4 prospects.
Yeah.
And so they build it. So the Mets trying to do the best of both worlds. Play that small market ball along. And I think that's why.
It's a big game. Yeah. That's a big game.
I think that when me and you were just talking about the sport, I think that's, like, for me, I said baseball is like your family. Like I think you're more invested in baseball if you're a fan of a team, because you're looking at it's 162 games. Early in the year, you're just trying to stay competitive, but you really keeping an eye on, man, what's that guy doing? What's Beatty doing? Or not Beatty, Jet Williams doing in AAA? Like you looking at, oh man, if such and such gets hurt, we got this guy here. To where basketball, you don't really know who your G Leaguers are. Like. You don't know who's on the practice squad of the Raiders.
I think baseball, and I was saying, I think that's the whole reason why it's never just died off, right? Like you have, it's the older sport, passed down generation to generation. People are invested. Baseball fans are probably the best fans, the most loyal fans. Not that you don't have that in football. But then also, like we talked about, what did you say? 162 games? Is it 162?
Yeah.
You got more opportunity to watch baseball games because of that. If you're in your home market too, right? So like, even some of the most loyal football fans, unless they just really rearrange their life for Sundays, which some people do, right? And baseball has those too. But you can be a casual fan of the Mets and catch more of their games than a fan who watched every game of the season for football. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I think baseball, most of the games on at 7 o'clock at night. You could put the game on, and I could go out in the garage, barbecue, have the game on. You just half paying attention to it.
Or you don't have to pay full attention to it.
I listen to a lot of the games on the radio. I just put it on the radio on my phone
it's
and
perfect
just
for radio games.
I just listen to because I can envision, I can see it. You know,
And
like what's happening.
it's people would take it as an insult, but it's not. It's that's the benefit. Like there's not as much to have to envision.
Right.
And I'm not saying that as a diss to baseball. I played baseball, youth baseball. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's only so much that you've got. But in football, like you can hear it on the radio, and you be like, I got to see what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Like I got to go watch and see what. And same with basketball. Like I got to figure out what it was they were talking about. They did on that play.
Yeah.
And baseball is, and all right, he hit it down third baseline, hit the cutoff man. He's rounding third. Like you can see all of that in your head plain as day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're like, oh, Patrick Mahomes in trouble, you don't know what that means, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, he rolls right, so you can kind of picture that. You're like, oh, so and so's coming downfield. He's a double. Like you don't know what the route is being. Like you know what I mean? Like baseball, you can figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the baseball, the commission or whatever they call them, they've done a good job of speeding the game up. The pitch clock has been great. The amount of times the batter can step out of the box, the amount of times you could throw over to first, it's really sped the game up. Where it's a lot more
how
enjoyable.
is that? How I think people are finally on board with it, right? Because like, remember we've talked about it when it first happened. Players hated it.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, "This is trash. It ain't gonna last." But I think they got on board, right?
Yeah. The only thing that I would like to see them change is maybe the eighth and ninth inning, do away with the pitch clock. Because one of the things that
I could see that.
One of the things that is very captivating about the sport is, you know, in a tight game. I'll use it for example in the playoffs. Juan Soto was playing for the Yankees. They were playing the Guardians, and he had an at bat. And I wanted to really, I mean, I know who Juan Soto is. I've seen him play.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, we may get him this year. Let me really watch this at bat. This at bat was so intense. The pitcher threw a pitch, swing and miss. He looked at the pitcher, shook his head like, okay, I see you. Like, and he right there in the box. Come on. Now, the other side of that, back in the day, the pitcher can have more time to like really think. And a lot of times they overthunk and threw the wrong pitch and they hit him out of the park.
But that's part of it too,
right? So I feel like now they're rushed a little.
If they did it with like if it's within 2 runs.
Yeah. I just think make
an announcement and make it. That's what I'm saying. Make an announcement that if it goes into the ninth inning, 2 runs or even three, because you can make up 3 runs. I mean that's further stretch, but you can make up 3 runs. 3 if it's a 3-run game or less, make the announcement.
Yeah,
Pitch clock is off.
Because one of the things about that situation in the ninth inning, Edwin, I'll just use the Mets. Edwin Diaz comes in, he plays the trumpet, everybody's excited, right? But on the road, if you play in Philly, and Edwin Diaz comes in, and Philly's down a run, and Edwin Diaz comes in as ball 1, bro, the crowd's gonna get so loud. Now, if he only got 15 seconds to throw the next pitch, the crowd isn't as effective. If he's standing on the mound and he's taking a little longer, crowd's getting louder. They getting loud. They trying to get in his head. So I think it takes that element out a little bit because now the pitchers are more programmed to get the ball, throw it, get the ball, throw it, get the ball, throw it, opposed to walk around the mountain, taking their hat off, wiping their brow.
I'd be cool if they did first and ninth inning.
Yeah.
No pitch clock. Let people get into the game.
Yeah.
Let's start because that's important, right? Getting it dialed in right away. You know what I mean? And not slipping up because you're rushing.
And then the other thing, like we don't like it in the 3rd, 4th, 5th inning, but when you standing in the box and that pitcher's looking and he's shaking off the catcher, and then he nods his head and you the hitter, he's like, oh great, he'd really like that. And then you step out. Now the crowd's booing you. Like you throwing him off his game. It's a mental game at that point. They took it away a little bit. But outside of that, not being able to throw the ball over to first base to pick the guy off 15 times in a row, that's the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. So that part I kind of like. But when you're at the game,
because they get 3, right? They get 3, right?
So on the third throw over, you either got to get him out or he's
right,
automatically
right.
gets
That's
to go
what
to
I'm
second.
saying. Yeah.
So
I could see them. I could see them doing 5, maybe.
Yeah.
But you're right. That is a pain. Like, especially if you're watching. If you're not there at the game.
Yeah.
Like, if you're watching it on TV, you're like, throw the damn ball. Really, you ain't gonna get them. Just throw the damn ball. You know what I mean?
So what else is going on in sports? We get into a time of the year where
this is the down. This is the
me and Cole really gonna be hyped in on these Mets moving forward. There ain't really much else to talk about.
This is when we start watching ESPN4 and we watching badminton and
damn pickleball finals.
Right.
Well, I'll touch on this real quick before we get out of here. We're about to wrap this up, but the first round Giants pick. Now that I'm up here, I'm starting to follow the Giants a little more than I used to when I was in Florida. It was my first team, but they got to go Travis Hunter. If Travis Hunter is on the board, I was reading an article where it's Travis Hunter or this D lineman, I think from Penn State. I could be messing that up, but I don't see how you don't take Travis Hunter. Now, what they're saying is Travis Hunter is going to be predominantly a defensive player in the NFL, right. But I don't care. Like I think he's a shutdown corner. He can contribute on special teams, and you can have packages for him every game on offense.
He's not playing both ways, though.
Any team he goes to, Seneca, they're gonna have packages for him on offense.
He could return kicks.
Could do that.
Like do the Dion. Like I could see him doing the Dion thing, ironically, right? Like where he is the defensive back, and then every once in a while, when they're like, we gotta try something different, we got a package for him,
bro. You bring him in, even if he's a decoy.
Right.
You bring him in when you get in the red zone, you know what I'm saying? Or you bring him in on first down after the kickoff, Travis is in, and then all of a sudden, a little mesh route to the right away from him.
Right.
I can definitely see if he was on the Giants, them having a package, or any team having a package for him. But
the Giants need a quarterback.
Yeah, but they ain't going. They could get a decent quarterback in the third round. The quarter, I think, was from Ole Miss.
What was it? Brett Favre said something about if the Lions trade for him, that's a guaranteed Super Bowl appearance.
Trade for who?
For Favre. I mean, not Favre, but I don't know why I said Brett Favre, but Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I didn't see that. I saw somebody wrote an article on that they was thinking maybe Pittsburgh trying to get him. I think he just needs to.
Yeah, he likes Tomlin. I know he likes Tomlin. But
man, that's somebody. They were talking about maybe him getting fired. You know how many teams would scoop him up? Him up.
He hasn't had a losing season in
man, that's a great
15,
coach.
18 years or something.
Great coach. And
I get it. At what point do you say, like with Belichick, right? Like at what point Belichick has 6 Super Bowls with them? What point are you like, we got to move on to try and win it?
Yeah.
You can't let a coach. They did that. Remember Herman Edwards coached forever and never won anything. But so many of these coaches, all they do is carousel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But here's what it is.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. This is the Magnetico podcast. We'll be back next week to talk about women's shuffleboard.
When is the other Magnetico ever going to be on the show?
This fool busy. It is only about to get worse because baseball season starting. Shout out to Cole.